Thanksgiving if you are in the United States. We are streaming on Instagram. We are streaming on, we are streaming on YouTube, both vertical and portrait. Oh, wait, my mic's not working? Is my mic not working? Please tell me my mic is working. Let's giddy up, Buttercup. You know what? We're going. Thank you, Penny. Oh, Solarian, what's going on with your son? What is going on? I see. Testing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You guys can hear me now. And I'm messing up my hair after I got up and did it. So, so I hope you guys are great. I started my part-time job this weekend and I was exhausted. Certainly exhausted. So if we don't get more people coming over to Instagram, we're going to bail on that. But I've got, oh, that's better. Hey, Merc, I've got a question from Merc over here. And Merc is still looking for a place to live with the ducks. Give you a hint where to look. Give me a second. So near, far, wherever you are, and you know in my heart will go on. I'm sorry to bust out a little Celine for you guys. Oh, who's saying nasty stuff about Catherine? Um, Christine, give me a little bit more information about that. Little bit more information about the nasty things. I literally have not worked my own business since like last Tuesday. So I have no idea what is going on in the world. I see people are talking about lasagna. I am hungry. So there we go. All right. And if you are watching on the vertical, guys, please, please, please double tap. Double tap. So you can give me a like there. So all right, let's go. Near, far. Oh, would help if I bring the card view up. Guys, as always, when I bring that card view up, smash the like button. Smash it like it owes you money. Hang on, where is this? Is the view we're going to use. And we're going to swap those up so you can see it just a little bit better. Ah, I cannot talk about my part-time job. Not yet. Not yet. So Merck, I think you got a little bit of effort to put in here. I don't think that you're going to be able to find something before the holidays are up. Why am I saying that? Hey, Schned99 over there on Insta. I see you, baby. I see you, baby. We're all chatting away on YouTube if you want to jump on over and talk to the regular crowd. Oh, really, Christine? More of that nonsense? That's just crazy. That is just ridiculous. But so Merck, I think you're gonna have to dig a little deeper. I think you're gonna have to dig a little deeper. Um, it, I'm thinking after the holidays, you're gonna be having some better luck. February. And I think February, it's so nice, slipping on the sliding ice. But I think by the time we get to February, um, you're gonna settle. I think you're gonna be in a place where you settle for a little bit. So if you can get something that's temporary month to month, I think you're gonna be in an okay spot. I know. The ducks. Let's talk about the ducks. So I do think that there's an opportunity for you to house the ducks at another location if you need to. So, and I want you to look at a couple of different farms. I think that there's an opportunity for you to get the ducks into another location to kind of free yourself up for a bit. So give that a shot. Look around for that. I know you've been looking for since August. I think you're going to find something much after the holidays. So, if you want, go onto my Calendly and book a remote view with me, and we could do a little remote view, and then we could talk about it. If you want to book like a half hour, we could do that. That would maybe be a better solution. So, sorry about that, honey bunny. Uh, oh, hello, Haley. So we're going to jump over. I actually had a hankering to bust out this deck today. So this is the This May Hurt Tarot. So we're going to talk about how is King Charles Christmas going to go. Rex Tex, how are you? Hope you're feeling well. So we are going to bust out the This May Hurt. How is King Charles? Is he going to have a good Christmas? King Charles. Page of Wands, guys. Wheel of Fortune. I think Page of Cups. He's still hanging in there. The Moon. We're going to get more information. Six of Swords. We're going to get a little bit more information about what's going on with King Charles after the holidays. So I think that his energy is waning. That oh, okay. Thank you, Devin Hendricks. Adorable. Love your profile picture. So, would we have a nasty winter in the UK? Stick around for that. I got your question there, Sandrost. So Dave Murphy Gut still says February. Hi, Dave. Did I say hi? I sent you that link before and it was behind a paywall. I'm so sorry. I'm batting 1,000, batting 1,000. But I think his energy is waning. And I do think that this is just the course. Hello, Grace. Good day to you, my dear. You're up wicked early. That is wicked early from Australia. You and Dave Murphy on the same time schedule. So, Dark Crypto, good to see you on the vert. On the vert. So, this Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune's a really interesting card. And I know I say that about every card. Merc, I don't think you have to give them up. I just think you have to house them for a little bit. You don't have to give them up. So, hi, little witchy one. Good to see you. We just got started. We're just getting started, Sugar Plum. I was ready to jump in, and I got a request private reading on Hypsee, so I had to jump over for that. So it was like just as soon as I clicked it on, so we could do the live. So the Wheel of Fortune is the lesson in the duality of life. So we're looking at either being on top of the wheel, riding high, or being crushed under it. And we all have these cycles in our life. It's not anything that's dubious and distinct to, just tra-la-laing through your day as King Charles. But in this case, like he's really being crushed under that wheel of life. However, I think that we are going to see him being all it blows cinnamon through the door. I never heard that one. We're going to talk about that, Grace. We're going to talk about that. So this Page of Cups, I think we're going to see a brighter and lighter King Charles. And sometimes this happens to people when they near the end of their life. Socrates, it's good to see you out there. So sometimes when people are gaining momentum toward the end of their life, they will get more melancholy. In King Charles' case, I think he gets much more brighter and lighter. I think he becomes a more positive person as he reaches the fullness of time. So, but I do think that we're going to be more aware of the waning capacity of the king. I think, with the queen, there was so much concealed about her passing. I was literally on the phone with one of my insurance clients, and I had my tarot computer on because I had my insurance one here and my tarot one here, and I saw all of a sudden there was breaking news that was coming across the screen, and it said, that the flag is going down at I guess it was Windsor. The flag was dropping on, and I said to my client, "Oh my God, I think Queen Elizabeth died." And he goes, "Are you kidding?" Because let's put the news on. So we stayed on the phone and talked about it. But I think that they are going to be a bit more open about the status and state of King Charles. I think we're going to see more glasnost about that. So for my Russian speakers out there, glasnost at the Pravda. So yeah, the guys, I've been studying my Russian. So here, Six of Swords is the Great Escape. that is moving on. And in this particular deck, it is very reminiscent of the hobbits sailing over the horizon, um, and the elves with Bilbo Baggins and Gandalf at the end of the Lord of the Rings. So I think that poor King Charles is kind of winding up. Dave Murphy, this one's for you. This one's for you. Wait, I gotta hit a B. Hang on. B. Dave Murphy, this is for you. Is it gonna be February? Yep, there we go. Releasing that mortal coil. Yeah, I think it's gonna be February. Um, so unfortunate for King Charles. So, while we are talking about that, I know I have a few questions on the board. Well, is he going to have a good Christmas? Will King Charles have a good Christmas? The Hierophant in reverse, the King of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. So, hi, Carla. You guys know I always talk about King Charles the man, King Charles the father, and King Charles the king. I think that he is taking a page out of his father, Prince Philip, the late Prince Philip. I think he's taking a page out of his book, and he is going to lay down his scepter for the holidays. I think he is really going to embrace being a man and being a father and being a grandfather and an uncle and all the things that he is. Will that speech disclose more? I'm your Huckleberry Dave. I'll do that. Two of Wands. His speech is going to be about the duality of life, the duality of being human, the duality of being a man and a king at the same time. And sometimes that we have to make decisions that are not in alignment with one of those roles that we play. We all have many, many roles in our lives. And sometimes we have to lean into one of those roles. Here, I think he's leaning away from being the king. And I think he is leaning more into being a man and a father and a leader of a family. And I think that privately, we are going to see him pass the scepter to William. I think after Christmas, William and Catherine will be assuming much more um, much more responsibility, and I think they're going to let him kind of go into a bit more of a retirement as he heads into the final stretch. So I do think that the speech is going to be indicative of what legacy means, the duality of life being those two things, and also that legacy is where we live on. A little bit of a heavy message, but I think legacy is where we live on. So marking this. And the reason I'm doing this is because I use the clips for the rest of the week and then kind of keep everything on there. Don't have any mat that says welcome. Exactly. Yes. We had one that didn't say go away, but it was come as you are. My former sister-in-law gave it to us, and it was the Nirvana quote. I don't think she knew that. I got one more question on Hypsee. Let me see. Okay. Alicia. Aisha. I'm a dentist. The guy, Ahmad Hazim, I met through study group. We've been friends. These past 3 days we have not been speaking. Is he worried or missing me a lot like I do? Let's see. Boom. Three of Cups. I think he is having a good time. I would reach out. Reach out. Maybe you can get in on that good time. Maybe you can get in on that good time. Is my friend Rob? Guys, I want everybody to say congratulations to Rob because Rob just hit 17 million views on his channel. Rob, congratulations. Let's do a little bit of applause for my good friend Rob, who knows where the bodies are buried in my life. And why does Rob know where the bodies are buried? Because he has known me since I was 11 years old. Rob is a great guy. So congratulations, Rob. That is awesome and an amazing achievement. What a super cool dude you are. So, and I'm just making jokes here, making jokes. That laugh track is a little bit longer than I thought. So Aisha, give that dude a call. Give him out a call. Give him a call. And Stacy, I am not right behind you. The laugh track. Rob, StreamYard has that now. It has that right now. So you can add some fun noises in there. I want to get like "Dur, dur, dur, dur." Oh, look at Edward Elliott. Edward Elliott, you are saying all the right things. Thank you so much. Love you right back. I will be your goddess here. Let me know if actually I'm going to give Edward a card just because he was so sweet with that. So sweet. So here we go, Edward. What do you got? What's your day going to be like? Look at that. 4 cups. I don't want you to dream about. Don't dream it. Be it, baby. So just like Frankenfurter in Rocky Horror Picture Show. Don't dream it, be it. The time to dream and craft things, that is gone, baby, gone. I want you to go out there and seize the day. Seize the day. Everything is coming your way. Ace of Wands, the job is yours. Knight of Pentacles, fertile ground for you to build things in the future. So glad to see you here. You can come back and call me a gorgeous goddess anytime you want. So right back at you, kid. So all right, let's get over here. So I've got Mercury in Leo. We all know that Mercury in Leo is having a wild, crazy affair with James Hetfield from Metallica out there in the ethereal. So let's see how they're doing. Just reminding you, I'm using the This May Hurt Tarot. So let's see what's going on with that. Boom, baby, boom. Boom, baby, boom. Let's see how they're doing. You guys cannot get out of bed. You and that James Hetfield not coming up for air, not doing anything. It's not an affair. You are a couple. I will put that up there. You are a couple. You are a bi- binded couple. I'm losing cards. I'm getting excited. Things are getting steamy in here, and these cards are slippery. So um, definitely there is some good stuff going on. Page of Pentacles. That looks like he is spending some money and taking you to the outer limits. 6 of Swords. No running from this. You guys are bedding down. And what do they call it up in the oh, what do they call it? The Hajj or Greg, what do they call the Scandinavians when they go and they bundle up for the winter and they eat good food and wear snuggly clothing? The Hug, I think it's called the Hug. That Scandinavians do that in the winter. They get all snuggled up and they find a bed buddy and they just snuggle up together and they have a great time. So all winter long, baby. But then we've got some transformation. At some point, you're going to have to get out of bed and make breakfast. So sorry about that, girl. But give him a Danish and a cup of coffee. That guy will be fine. Back for round 3. So let's get some questions here. Solarian, I want to address this. I want to give you a few cards for your son. I want to give you a few cards. Oh, and Edward Elliott over on the Vertical has subscribed. Thank you so much, dude. Glad to have you in the cookie jar. We do a lot of fun stuff here. We have a great community. If you want to come on over to the portrait chat, there's a lot of people over there. So would love to have you there. Round 3, right, little witchy one? So Solarian, let's see how your son's doing. Let's give you a little bit of love here. Let's see. Lovers. He's got the right doctor. He's got the right doctor. He's going to have a little bit of a time with recovery for this, though. So let's give him some grace. It's going to be a little tricky, I think, through the holidays. A little bit of careful dietary needs. Little Yellow Brick Road. This is for you, baby doll. So hello, wife of a grumpy Marine, one of my favorite mods there. And while we're at it, let's give the mods a little round of applause. Mods are always working hard. So, the path. We've got 2 of cups. So I do think we've got some issues. I think they need to address it. The pressure for him. We're going to get a lot of. Okay. Do I have any mods over on the vert? If any of the mods want to go over to the vert, I got ex good fella who needs to sit down. Are you on there, Greg? Oh, okay. He needs to sit down. TR13400 on the vert. You don't have to believe any of this. You could just sit here and listen to the melodious sounds of my voice. So, sounds like a bunch of nonsense. Well, jog on, sweetie. Jog on. So, the pressure, we're going to have a lot of doctors working on this Solarian. The hidden hand. Hidden hand. Make sure that his spirit stays lifted. Texas Kit Kat, good to see you. Public face, justice. So we got some swords here. We may have a little bit of a surgery thing going on. So pay attention to that. Private goal, Knight of Pentacles. So I do think they're going to have to, yeah, there's a little bit of nip and tuck here. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And then the likely pivot, this is a good card to get for a likely pivot. Anytime we have something where we are not feeling well, you know why? Because this card, it's the worst card in the deck when we get it in the upright, but when we get it in reverse, this is healing. This is recovery. This is coming on back. So I think we've got a little bit of time on this though. So Solarian, let's all drop some good energy in there. I've got some sparkles and a heart for Solarian. So let's drop some good vibes for Solarian Sun there and for Solarian. We're going to get you through this, honey bunny. We're going to get you through this. You always come back to us. We will take care of you. You got it. This, one of the things that I'm super thankful for, and I said it on my gratitude post yesterday. I'm really, really fortunate that I have a super, super nice community here. So really just a nice community of good people. We're all here to, have a laugh, do some chitter chatter and just have a fun time. So I am humbled and grateful for all of you for being here. So, all right. So we've got Christine Scott drop me a question there. I'm trying to keep up with the question, guys, but bear with me. Bear with me. So, Christine wants to know if Andrew, the prince, formerly, was Andrew behind the nasty stuff that came out about Catherine about her cancer being fake. And I was really troubled by that, guys. I don't really understand why anyone would say that Catherine's cancer was faked. Hi, Rick Paul. I don't know anyone that would fake cancer. That is really a strange thing to do, especially with a public family. It doesn't really make sense. But was Andrew behind it? Eight of Swords. Three of Wands. It was more than just him. It was more than just him. It was an effort, a poor effort to weaken the crown. It was. Was an effort to weaken the crown. And we do see these kinds of power plays throughout history. When a monarch passes or when an emperor passes, we will see lots of people step into the that circle Hi, Juanita. We'll see a lot of people step into that circle and try to take over the power dynamics that are there. So one of my favorite scenes in one of my favorite movies, The Dark Crystal, when the emperor dies at the beginning, the Skeksis emperor, and they're all kind of going around the bed, and the emperor goes, "I am still emperor," and then proceeds to die. Um, I think that we see those kinds of things, and I think that Andrew was part of that, trying to weaken the monarchy in an effort to absorb some of the strength from his mother and to rob some of it from his brother, unfortunately. So we're going to leave that there. So John Doe. The reason why some of the people on the cards are nude, and I'm going to answer you in a frank and nice way because I think that you should be answered in a frank and nice way, is because it does show innocence or um, purity or exposure to God. So that is why the people are naked. So welcome to the club. Um, Edward Elliott, I have another channel called the Psychic News Report, which is on hiatus for now. Oh, John Doe is gone. I would have answered that. Um, so my other channel is the Psychic News Report, which Rick Paul was a part of. He's in the chat here. But we are on hiatus because we lost our astrologer. So until we replace that astrologer, we're not going to be able to do the channel because it was a psychic medium, tarot card reader, and a psychic astrologer, and then our straight man, who is our newscaster. So we've got that. So yeah, Sunderust. Would we have a nasty winter in the UK? Let's see about that. Let's see. Let's do some weather reports. Weather reports. Weather reports. So and I'm kind of surprised because psychically I was going to say, yeah, it is going to be a cold. I know we're having a really, really cold winter here. We are going to have I'm in the northeast of the United States, and it's already cold. It's not good. But I think this is going to be more of a miserable winter in the UK. And so what does that mean? Scotland's going to have some snow up there. They always do. But I think it's going to be more of a mushy winter. I don't think it's going to be quite as cold and snowy all over. We're not going to get a Dickinsonian winter or anything like that. So I think we've got some stuff to manage. So there we go. I don't think it's going to be terrible though. I think it'll be cold and mushy. Uh, is that a fact over there, wife of a grumpy Marine? I just saw they're threatening you with snow in South Carolina. We're supposed to get weather that comes through tonight. We're supposed to maybe get snow here. I heard 3 inches. I heard no inches. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. So, oh, Merck, I got your thank you. And Haley, we got another question from Haley over on Hypsee. Guys, again, if you want personal questions, you can drop them in over on Hypsee. There we go. And I am going to be live on Hypsee after this if you want to come on over. So, Penny, you got a foot of snow yesterday already. Jeez Louise. The weather outside is frightful, and the world is so delightful. Since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. I love snow, as long as I don't have to go anywhere. So, question from Haley. Haley, Keir Starmer, and Rachel Reeves Will they lose their jobs or will they leave voluntarily or will she go to jail for her lies about the budget? Let's start with Herr Starma. Herr Starma. Let's go. All right. Is he going to lose his job? No, I don't think that Keir Starmer is going to lose his job. And I've said this before. I think they were close to finding a replacement for him because the powers that be need to find a. Oh, why does that? It's my camera that shakes. It's not actually my table. So I apologize for that. We are trying to come up with a solution for that. I'm trying not to touch the table. So I don't think that they have a replacement for him yet. And I think that they've got cooperation from other people on board. So I think he's going to stick around for a while. Mayor Chavez, how are you, sweetie pie? Um, the powers that be, I do think want him out of there. Certainly, my friends that are in the United Kingdom are very keen on getting a replacement prime minister. But I think the powers that be are still working on a solution for the vacancy. So I thought not long ago that they had a replacement, but it looks like that's kind of bottomed out. So we'll say not yet. Not yet, Mr. Potter. So not today. Ah, wife of a grumpy marine. It's a haunted table. That's funny. Whoop. So we're going to switch it over to Rachel Reeves, who I know almost nothing about. Will Rachel Reeves leave voluntarily? That is a big fat yes card right there. Will she go to jail for her lies about the budget? Wheel of Fortune, Two of Swords. I think her punishment is going to be not working. Which is that a punishment? I think the punishment is going to be you lose your job, you don't pass go, you don't get $200. I think that's really going to be what happens with her. What's her legacy after? Let's do a little bit of a deeper dive on her. Do a little deeper dive. Rachel Reeves. Ooh, she's going to go into private sector. She's already lined up her gig after she leaves her position. She's already got it lined up. Um, the cover up of the budget was not folly or um incompetence. It was done purposefully. And so she was kind of answering the call from on high and those people are telling her it's fine. Is she going to be wildly successful in her own private sector kind of thing? No, not really. I think once they get her out of the position and the dust clears and the people that participated in this ruse, once all of that is clear, I think that they are just going to kind of abandon her. We're going to get you out of this and then we're going to abandon you. We're going to not help you out in the end of things. So I do think that that's what's going to happen. Ultimately what happens to girl here, 10 of Pentacles. She got paid. She got paid. Um she's going to get like a package to leave. So, Rick Paul. I'm highlighting that. That's Rick Paul. You cheeky Rick Paul. Everybody, make sure you go over and give Rick Paul a sub too. He's an amazing psychic, and it has been far too long since him and I have gotten on the phone. So, Rick, we're gonna have to schedule a call. Definitely want to make sure that I feed and care for the wild and crazy plant that our friendship is. I miss you, dude. I miss you. So, uh, let's giddy up, Buttercup. So, oh, and I'm just going to create a marker there. So, boy, there we go. So, no jail time. Uh, all right. And we have, oh, Grace. Okay. I got a question from Grace here, guys. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. So Grace wants to know, will my ex return the jewelry he has taken from me? Immediately, Grace, I'm gonna tell you, I think that he no longer has it. Yeah, I think he no longer has it. Let's see. Yeah, it was done in haste and in rage. Um, yeah. Yeah, and I'm sorry, sweetie, but basically what he did, yeah, he took it and got rid of it because it was if if I can't have her, she can't have any of this. So, you know, I hate to say, and I don't know if you can file it as a theft or anything like that. Thank you, wifey. This was the next thing I was going to say. Check some of the shops around town and see if you can. See if you can. Um, yeah, see if you can do that. Well, either or. It's Narcs. The ex didn't want you, so you left. Either or. Sometimes they just get so jerky. So, I would check the pawn shops, see what's going on. I don't think that he has it anymore. I think he took it and got rid of it just to spite you, which is awful. Thinking this was a really great thing. He thinks that he feels better from putting all that out there. So I'm so sorry, honey. I am sorry. But honestly, if you want, send me an email. Um, I could do a remote view and see if I can get you any closer to it. So, email is fortunecookiestarot@gmail.com. You can always pop over an email. I'm so sorry. Yeah. I would make a police report anyway, too. Identify everything. If you have photographs, that's one of the things they always want, photographs. So they can identify it if they go out. But I would go to some of the local pawn shops, either near his place or where you are, and see if you can find some of it. Okay, I'm sorry. I actually had a gorgeous necklace stolen from me by one of our housekeepers when I guess I was like 21. I had a very pretty, it was a very small diamond necklace that my mother gave me and a matching bracelet. And my parents gave it to me. That was my dad would always give us a really nice piece of jewelry on the last night of Hanukkah. Um, so I had gotten this set, and that I was in college going back and forth, and I went back specifically to get my necklace and my bracelet for an event, and they were gone. And the only one that was there was the housekeeper. So there were no other kids in the house, and she obviously said she didn't do it. But yeah, I would go and see if you can locate them. See if you can locate it. So I'm so sorry, honey. The good news is that that's going to bite him in the butt later. That whenever we do things like that, um, it will come back to people. Thievery does chase you down. So I am sorry. So, oh, Zeph, I can't believe you're asking me this. I was gonna read on it later. Um, all right. Uh, so Zeph wants to know her sister's cat is missing. It's a tortoiseshell cat, and unfortunately, I think that it's kind of the same situation we talked about, Zeph. Yeah, I think I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know if she is. I don't think she is. Um, You know, really stinks. Really stinks. But it's one of the heartbreaks of barn cats. They are big and bold and beautiful and tough, but sometimes there's something tougher out there. Uh, I'm sorry. I am sorry. So this, I want to talk about this a little bit. Want to look this up? I'll look this up. So, okay, blowing cinnamon out the door on December 1st is a popular ritual believed to attract wealth and prosperity. So, the directions. Oh, wait, hang on. Whoops. Sorry, kids. All right, so Grace brought this up. Blowing cinnamon out the door on December 1st. It's a popular ritual believed to attract wealth and prosperity. Here's how to perform it. One of the reasons why cinnamon is considered a wealthy uh, herb spice that we use in spell crafting and different foods. I do a lot of intentional cooking. Cinnamon's a big player in that. It is because it was an expensive spice. Salt is the other one. You should always have salt in your house. When you move into a new house, salt, bread, and wine go in first. The wine is for pleasure, the bread is for never being hungry, and the salt is for having wealth in your house. Again, because being worth your salt, it was actually a measure of um, wealth. So cinnamon was the same. It was an expensive spice. So gather your cinnamon, take a pinch of cinnamon in your fingers, place it in your hand, set your intention. You can close your hand, visualize the abundance you want to attract, whether it's money, success, fame, YouTube notoriety, those kinds of things. And then you blow it out the door, visualizing it entering your home and filling the home. Leave it there. Do not clean up the cinnamon immediately. Leave it on the floor for at least 24 hours to allow the energy to manifest. This ritual is done often on the first day of the month and is rooted in folklore and spiritual practices, symbolizing the start of a new cycle and a desire for positive energy, which makes a lot of sense because we are also coming into the full moon in the next few days, which is going to round out this cycle. So, very, very cool. That is a cool little fun thing. I'm kind of surprised I didn't know that, but cool little fun thing. So, I will be doing that a little bit later. Um, oh, Susan got to ditch her boot. You can go back to regular shoes. Let's see how that healing process is going to go. Let's see how that healing process is going to go. See if there's any things that you need to be made aware of. World in reverse. The healing is not done. You are correct, my dear. The bones are still healing. King of Cups. Don't be impatient with this. Again, like I know you're hobbled right now, but I want you to make sure that you're doing the soaking, you're doing the elevation, all of those things as described by the doctor. You need to keep up with that. Don't slack off because you're getting to the end of the process. In fact, what everything is telling me is that even if you feel good, you should be doing the elevation and the soaking, whatever the protocol is. So keep at it, gal. But end result, you're going to be better than ever. You're going to be like Steve, what was his name? The $1 million man, the $6 million man. What was his name? It was Steve Austin. I wanted to say Steve Austin, but I changed my mind. So you're going to be like Steve Austin. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, and John Stevenson used to know an Annabelle from Louisiana that looked like me. Well, I am from the north. I am from the far north, the deep south. Oh, Penny, I love Malden salt. The flaky salt, it is great stuff. Um, Aisha, I am going to be private after this, but you can purchase readings during the live stream. But here, let me put the link in. Do, do, do. There's the link. if you want a private reading, I'm gonna wrap this up in about 10 minutes. I went through all of my completed questions. Oh, I got yours first, sweetie. Uh, yeah, yours was second or third. I'm sorry, it was third, Aisha. So basically, what I told you is that I think he is having a little bit of fun and he's distracted. So you can give him a call, send out a text message, phone call, whatever, and get in on the fun with him. So I got you right at the beginning of the session. So you are included, my dear, included. So go get a mod. Go get him. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna have some good times over there. So all right, guys. So I don't have any more questions. Uh, oh, is that true? Do, 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 do. I don't have any blue-eyed friends. And Susan's behaving. All right, kids. So one of the things we're gonna do, channel content. Let me get over to my community chat because I had lots of questions. Lots of questions. So this is a fun one from OSV. OSV, there we go. OSV wants to know if we are going to, whoop, if we are going to uncover any more royal secrets. What do we got out there? Any more royal secrets coming out? I think they stopped the bleeding. I think they stopped the bleeding. So I think all of the unfortunate information is really out there. I think all of the troubling information is on the plate right now. A lot of what the negative stuff that we're hearing is actually superseded by the actions of the people that it's about. So if they're saying like, oh, Prince William, he's hard to keep on the porch. He's a big fat cheater or was a big fat cheater. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in your behavior. So I do think that grasping at straws is a term that comes to mind, that they're really struggling to kind of put the connections together, to put some meat on the bone of rumor that is going on. So does the storyline stick? No, not a lot of the time. Just doesn't stick here. So that is a Queen of Pentacles down here at the bottom. So I wish I could like lay out in like two different ways for the vertical and the portrait. So yeah, I think that the the rumor mill is coming to a close. Um, so let's do this one. Whoop, there we go. And how are the royal children doing? They are growing up so fast. So let's see how Jorge is doing. George, how is George doing? uh So I think George is getting to the age where he's kind of realizing the level of responsibility that he has in his world. And I think that that is a little bit tricky for him. Um, I think there are moments where he has to not do what an ordinary, how old is he? What is he, 12? I think he's 12, something like that. I think he might be a little bit older, but I think he has to say no to a lot of things, or yeah, they're allowing him to make the decision that he's not going to, do something, or he realizes that he is not able to participate in certain things because of his destiny, because of the accident of birth that has put him where he is. And I think that there are moments of disappointment that he is destined for this amazing. Um, oh, I got you there. I got you there, Solarian. So that he's destined for this amazing role. I think he is having a little bit of I don't want to say bratty, because I don't think it's bratty. I think it is a mourning period where you realize, like, I'm not going to be able to go backpacking. He turned July 12 in July. Thank you. Hi, Kathy. Oh, I didn't see you sneak in. Hi, Kathy. So I do think that he's being pragmatic about it, and there are plenty of people around him that are saying, you exchange this for this. There is a whole other world of privilege that is open to you. And I think that he is just going through those growing pains of feeling like he's on the outside, that he is always in a place of responsibility, that he will always be in a inequity um, of power with others. And I think that he is being, he's being raised up to really honor that role. So I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's not lacking anything. These are just kind of some normal things that he's not going to be able to experience. So how is Miss Charlotte? That lovely little lady, Miss Charlotte. Isn't she gorgeous? Oh, she is. She really couldn't be any more like Princess Anne if she tried. We're getting two Princess Royales that are cut from the same cloth. And I do think that there is some homage on the way that her mother is raising her, the way the Princess of Wales is raising her. Um, there is an homage. I think that the Princess of Wales has a great deal of respect for Princess Anne, even though they don't always connect. They're not always on the same wavelength. They're not always in agreement. Catherine is not always in agreement with Princess Anne. And I think that's because Princess Anne grew up in a royal family, whereas Catherine has had I don't know if you say secular experience, but she's had a secular experience outside of the royal family. Remember that the royal family is a microcosm, it's a microculture of elite British culture. So, the highest of the highest class. And there is no preparation for that. There is no a class that you can take. Like, you have to be in that culture in order to understand it. Like, none of us are ever going to be able to process what's going on there. And I think that Catherine is wise enough to understand that Princess Anne is this terrific um, role model for her daughter, and I think she's allowing that to happen, even if it means that Catherine has to compromise some of the way that she grew up, and some of the ways that she thinks about things. Be giving that utmost dedication to the crown, I think, is what is happening. They are giving Charlotte utmost dedication to the crown. I think this is a really, really appropriate, uh, appropriate course of study for her, for lack of a better word, tutelage, if you will. So, Louis, how is Louis? How is Louie doing? He's still a baby. So they have to keep their thumb on him a little bit. Um, he's a trickier one. Um, and we're gonna pull a few more cards on this because I think that Louis's upbringing, there's something about he is a hoot, isn't he? He is the most fabulous of the lot. I love it. Um, I think the way that they are handling him is very different because he's the baby. And his personality is very robust. He is very strong in the body, and very athletic. I think he gets that more from his mom than he does from his dad. I think there's a lot of Catherine in there. I know a lot of people have a lot of things to say about Catherine and how thin she is. She does not look unhealthy. She looks a little dry from the chemo or the immunotherapy if she's on that, but she looks a little dry from that. But she doesn't look unhealthy, and in fact, I'm going to say she never looked unhealthy when she was sick. She did not look terrible. Um, so I think that he gets his physicality from his mom, and I think the physicality is something that they are not maximizing for Louis. And the reason being is that they don't want him to be like a football hooligan or something like that. So Christine, I'll get to your question just a second. I just started. So I think they don't want him to be like kind of a rough and tumble, physical kind of gal. Um, does he get along with Uncle Mike Tyndall? Very much, or cousin Mike Tyndall? Very much so. Um, but I think he gets too rambunctious when he's with Mike. I think he gets too dialed up and too bananas when he's with him. So that's a little interesting. Are they as a set progressing well in terms of the monarchy? Queen of Wands, Fool in reverse, Six of Swords in reverse, and the Two of Pentacles. So they are proceeding well. However, I think and I've said this before, I do think that the royal family is going to look very different under William. I'm standing by that. That is one of my assertions I will not come off of. I think that we are again building a family dynamic that is more like a business rather than a royal family. I think we're getting rid of all of the employees that we don't need to run because we have computers and AI and all that happy stuff. Um, but I think that the royal family is going to be very different. I think we will have very, very few that are walking around in the tiaras, walking around at all of um, the state events, those kinds of things. I think we're going to see a much, much slimmer monarchy once William is in place. So we'll leave it at that. But I think the kids are being raised with that in mind. All right, let me get to another question over on my board. Just bear with me. All right, so let's see. Do 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 do. I got sugars in my comments. I got sugars in my comments. So here, Christine Scott, I got one of yours. Is Starmer going to destroy the royal family? Is Starmer going to destroy the royal family? Is that his goal? Is that his goal? He does not see a use for them. And I think that he would. I think he would have them reduced to something else. What would his plan be? He wants to see them knocked down, tied up, and held to account, which, okay, how far are we going back on this? Oh, Rob, I see you on Insta. Hi, Rob. So I do think that Starmer would like to see less royal family. And let's go over. And from Ruth Rice. Ruth Rice has said that it was her, she heard a rumor, it's a rumor, that Meghan stole from the royal family. Let's just see. Meghan Markle steal from the royal family. Did she steal from the royal family? Reckless action. Did not execute because there were too many people there. So I don't think that she did steal from the royal family. I think she tried. No, whatever it was that she tried to take, they didn't get. She didn't get it out the door. I don't know, who would try that? That's bananas. That's bananas. Bananas. Good question. All right, Raymundo, I'm seeing all these questions from you. Wait, I saw one further up. I'm trying to get to you. King Henry of Wales. All right, Nostradamus, King Henry, Queen Meghan of Wales about willpower meeting. So we're gonna play nice with Raymundo here. So Raymundo wants to know if Harry and Meghan are going to be made the King and Queen of Wales. Nah, we'll read on it. I am equal opportunity here. We can do this. Let's see what we get. Let's see what the cards say. I got you, Margie. See what the cards say. Is Harry going to become king? That's a no. I'm sorry, Raymundo. That's a no. That is a no. It is too much. It is too much. Too much. What about Meghan, Queen of Wales? Healing? Moving on. She is not part of the royal family anymore. She is not going to be part of the royal family. So, but is that their heart's desire? Is it Meghan's heart's desire to be Queen of Wales? So, no, is it Meghan's heart's desire to be Queen of England? Does she want to be the Queen of England? Yes, she does. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? But that job is not open to her. You can see that here because we've got the 10 of swords. This is not a job that's available for her. The star in reverse, that is not her destiny. The 5 of swords, too many people in the way. And the page of swords, it's not her job. Not her job. So I know, Raymundo, I know you want her on the throne. I know you want Harry on the throne, but I just don't think it's going to happen. It's not me naysaying, it's the cards. It's the cards. So sorry, honey. But I did read your question. All right. All right, all right, all right. So let's see. Marnie Hall, a question for Monday. Andrew Lowney, the author of a newish book called entitled, recently published an article on the internet on an internet rumor regarding Prince William and Rose Hanbury, apparently making it sound true, whereas it's been debunked by the rumor originator. He had it uh, quickly removed, has blamed his staff and fired staff for posting it. No actual apology for taking responsibility. He has received lots of negative feedback and is in fix it mode. My question is, will this event affect him going forward? Is this an actual indication of a true desire to harm all the royal family for all his claims of being a monarchist? He said his next book will be about Prince Philip. Given the track record, I believe it will be a hit piece. So, bloop. Okay. So we're talking about Andrew Lowney and the little blurb that showed up on the internet that suggested that the Rose Hanbury affair was actually a Rose Hanbury affair, and that William was a hot diggity dog diggity and hanging out with her. I've never gotten that he was hooking up with her. But apparently Andrew Lowney has fired some staff and has not issued an apology. Why hasn't he apologized? He really and truly, Andrew Lowney, really and I think I'm saying his name right, really and truly believes that this was not his fault, that somebody took liberties with the information that he put out, or information that was put out on his behalf. So, did he fire the right people? Oh, wait, stop that. What is the truth? Did somebody take liberties and post that up? What is the truth? The truth is that that's a rumor that they talk about in the office. That is the truth. And so somebody thought it was okay. Somebody did take some liberties, but somebody thought that it was okay to put that out there. That was what was going on. So, is this going to, let me just check the question again. So, is this event going to affect Andrew Lowney? Is it going to affect him? So he is walking away from the situation with a lot of bravado and a lot of conversation. I do think that thanks, Texas Kit Kat. I saw you in another chat today, but I was being quiet at the time. So I do think that he's trying to balance out what was said and what was done. Does it affect him? Yes. I do think that people have a little bit of a hard time believing everything that he's saying after this. So, how does this affect the book on Prince Philip? Which Prince Philip is a super interesting character in the royal family dynamic. Um, he had a lot to say. He was not a quiet one. So, is this going to affect the Prince Philip book? Are people going to not give the Prince Philip book as much credibility as they would have before this? Eh, I see. It's going to be right in the middle. Nope. Okay. Oh, the Prince Philip book is going to be really salacious. So buckle up, buttercups. The Prince Philip book is going to be fire. But I don't think that I don't think that this is going to serve him well for his career in the long run. I think people are going to really second guess everything that he says in this book. The Prince Philip book, that is. I mean, entitled, I think is very interesting. I think it's a very interesting book. And for those of you that were following the Kevin Federline book, I am going to finish the Kevin Federline book with The Tarot Tells the Truth tomorrow. I will be finishing that. So, yes. So Andrew Lowney, I think very interesting. And the vintage read, yes, I did see her post that she was not going to be engaging with him. I did not see what that was all about, so now I do know. So yeah, Andrew Lowney, I think he's going to have some stuff to contend with. What can he do to fix that? Let's just see what he can do to fix that. If he is very careful about the dissemination of information, and I think if he does a mea culpa, he will come out of this a little bit better. And I think he needs to frame it really like, well, I do have staff, and sometimes there's information that is talked about in private, in a mano, um, that is not for general consumption, and someone took liberties with that. So I think that will help him survive this situation. This is a how-to, not a what will happen. So yeah, yeah, interesting. So no, I don't think that the rumor is true. I don't think Prince William and Rose Hanbury, I don't think that that was true. So here, did Prince William have an affair with Rose Hanbury? No, that's a no. Three of Pentacles, Emperor, someone trying to steal his power with bad information. So no. Never thought that that happened between them. Thought that was a silly thing. A silly thing. So yeah. So is that Chumley? Do I say that Chumley? Will David Chumley, I think that's how you say it, be the Lord Great Chamberlain again? That's a yes. That's a yes. But only temporarily, not very long. He won't be there for very long. It's almost like he's brought in as like the first level, and he's going to clean things up, and then they will find a replacement. I don't know if that's because of age. I don't know how old he is. Um, but yeah, so I do think that they're gonna bring him back in as a pinch hitter. Very cool. I think it's very cool. You guys let me know. Poor Elaine. Elaine. Oh, Elaine. Let's. I'm gonna drop some love in the chat here. Some sparkly magic for you, Elaine. Some healing magic. There you go. Healing magic. Everybody drop some healing magic for Elaine. Get some healing magic in there. Uh oh, I'm like, who's AMV? So Christine, this is a great question. So part two of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Is Andrew the Prince, the Andrew formerly known as Prince, is he part of the Sussex Squad? Is he supporting Harry and Meghan? Andrew, part of the Sussex Squad. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. And I think that this suits him very, very well because he is kind of like whatever's gonna butter my biscuit. Whatever's gonna get me the most yield. He's one of those guys. So yeah, I think that. So is he on Team Sussex as far as the monarchy goes? Is Andrew on Team Sussex as far as the monarchy goes? We're gonna cut this deck. I'll make sure it's nice and clean. He's not opposed to it. Now that he has been divested, oh, guys, ooh, oh man. If this was 100 or so years ago, he would be building an army somewhere north of York or something. He would actually be more overt and um, more involved in trying to take power from the monarch. But it is 2025, almost 2026. And I think that, it's a little bit harder to move about the country without being noticed. And I think that misery loves company. And if he can get someone to commiserate with him, he will. Do I think that he is commiserating with Meghan Markle? No, I think he is commiserating with his nephew. I think he is trying to position himself as we're the same. We were both kind of hard done by. Is he waiting for Harry's titles to be gone? Yes. Yes. Once Harry's titles are gone, then they have a common enemy. They have a common devil. So we're going to see him warm up a lot more. Just for fun, is Andrew going to send gifts for Christmas? Let's see if he sends some gifts for Christmas. Is he going to all of a sudden be sending gifts out to the kids? Yeah, there you go. He's laying that groundwork. Our futures are not guaranteed, but if we stick together, we got to stick together, man. If we stick together, then we're going to be looking good. Up. I think we have a really cool person showing up in the chat any second now. Here he comes. Come on over, Ginger Avenger. It's lonely over there on Instagram. I don't have a lot of folks over on Instagram. But so we're gonna clip it here. So, yeah, I think if Harry loses his titles, I think that Andrew will make a more concerted effort to go hang out with them. Hi, 360 MMLLC. Hey, dude. Hey, dude. There's a lot more chat over on YouTube if you want to come over to Fortune Cookies Tarot by Annabelle on YouTube. Everybody's chatting away over here. So, Margie, another great question on the board. Great question. Sharon Osbourne, not looking good. So, those of you that follow know that Ozzy Osbourne has passed on. And poor Sharon, love of her life, she's not doing well. She's got stomach paralysis from Ozempic. She's having a lot of trouble gaining weight. She looks very, very thin, as does Kelly. Kelly looks very, very thin too. So, Judgment in reverse. She's not going anywhere yet. She does have a broken heart, though. Hi, Becky. But here's the thing. Sharon Osbourne does have a lot to live for. And I think that the will to live is there. I don't think that, she is, I mean, if your soulmate, your partner is gone, you're going to feel it. I'm not saying that she's not feeling it, but I do think that she is really hanging on for those grandchildren. I think her children and her grandchildren are very, very important to her. And I think that she is trying to hang on as best she can. Hi, Becky. I see you, Becky. I see you, baby. I see you, baby. So I think she's doing her best to correct what is going on. Do we get some healing from the stomach situation? Yes, I think we do. I absolutely think we do. I don't think she ever recovers perfect health, but I think that she's doing her best to keep on keeping on. So I actually had the occasion to meet Sharon Osbourne on one of the Ozfests, and she was an absolute delight to me. She was very, very nice to me, and she was very nice to my dog. Um, so those of you, I pulled it down. Once upon a time, I was on a show called It Takes a Thief. I was on the Generation Gap episode, and it was a funny story. I'll tell you guys a funny story. So I posted it up on my community page, but apparently it's behind a paywall. I guess I bought the episode so that I could see it. Um, and one of my friends who he was an at-home dog trainer. I had a kennel facility. I housed dogs. I had a kennel set up at my house, so I would keep some of my private client dogs there. But my training dogs, I would keep them anywhere from like 1 to 3 weeks. And I had a big commercial kennel that I kept them in. And so, um, one an at-home trainer, guy named John, calls me up one day and he's like, "Hey, I got to talk to you about like protection work." And I was like, I figured it was one of his dogs. I was like, all right, because I have certification in police dog work. So uh, he said, I got a call from a show on like TLC, one of the television stations. It Takes a Thief, and they want me to protection train a dog. And I go, well, you can't. You just don't do that. Like you have to make sure the dog's the right temperament. And I had a very extensive contract for any of my protection dog clients. They were required to come back for training for the life of the dog every month. There's a certain, depending on what the dog was trained to do, there's a certain amount of hours that they had to come back for training. They had to pay for it. And my security dogs that went out the door were very, very expensive. So I said, you can't really do that. And he goes, I'm just going to figure it out. I'm just going to, do what I do. So I was like, okay. So this particular trainer liked his drink, liked to have a good time, and he was hungover the day he was supposed to be there. So I was in my kennel, and Jameson, yes, drop me a question. I can do a quick reading of it, of course, soon as I'm done with the story. So I was in my kennel, and the phone rang, and I answered it, and it was this panicked PA, and they said, I I need your ad said you do protection training. Can you train a protection dog at a production today? And I said, well, I can't really do that. I go, but I said, did John not show up? And he goes, yeah. How did you know? And I said, well, because I work with him sometimes. He told me what he was doing. I said, tell me what time the call time is. I can be there. Do you need me to bring a dog? He was like, yes, please bring a dog. And so I brought a dog with me. I brought my big boy Buster, and he's a big Rottweiler. He's a beautiful dog. And so I went over there, and I got to do this show. So it Takes a Thief, Generation Gap. I may put it back up there and just tell everybody there's a paywall. You can go see it. My skin does not look that good. I was kind of surprised at how bad my skin looked. But I am very thin. I was in great shape. And I have a Dior shirt on, which is pretty funny. But yeah, it was very cool. So you guys can see me doing my other job. My hair was super long too. So yeah, Jameson, drop me a question. Let's go. Let's go, Buttercup. Ask me a question. I'll tell you no lies. If this is going to be like a crazy question, I'm going to freak out. Um, oh, yeah, you got it. You got it, baby. You got it. How does this I'm a Cancer woman. I feel fine about you. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's not about me. Not about me. Jameson, let's see. Cancer woman. How does she feel about you? Let's see. Let's see. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you subscribe. Oh, she's feeling generous. But you know what? She's a bit overwhelmed right now. And I don't mean overwhelmed by opportunities with other individuals like you. I think she's feeling she's feeling generous but superior at the same time. There's a lot of guys a lot of dudes and prospects, a lot of prospects are hitting her up just for a little, if you know what I mean. So I think that part of it, she's looking for a relationship more than looking for just a little bit of fun. So just be mindful of that. This is somebody who wants to be wined and dined, not Netflix and chill. So, how does she feel about you in particular? I think she's worried that you're just like a good time dude. So if you want to demonstrate to her that you got a little bit more longevity to you, that you've got more interest than just hitting it and quitting it, then I think you're going to be in line. You got to make some action though. Show her that you are a dude of discernment, that you are a dude that can get the job done, make her happy, be her prince, be her emperor. So I hope you like that. Hope you like that. Texas Kit Kat. And I think I'm going to be wrapping it up soon, guys. So if you want to drop your quick hits, we can do it. We can do it. I'm just about ready to wrap up questions because I've got a couple of things that I got to do with Angus Spangus, who is not feeling well today. Not feeling well today. My little baby boy. So will the will wrap up soon? Ah, it's always those lawyers. We got so many people in there. Um, I think they're going to push it closer to the beginning of the year. I hate to say that. I know you've been waiting for a while. Um, Hang on, Elaine. Oh, I got you. I got you. Hang on. Hang on. Jameson, you are very welcome. Good luck. Good luck. So, Lady of the Lake, where's Lady of the Lake? Hi, Lady of the Lake. There you are. So I think that they're dragging their feet on this. So leave it to the attorneys. They're always going to drag their feet. It's that billable hour that gets them. Um, but it looks like they're trying to parse everything, like they're slice and dicing all of the language that's in that will again. They're going to say that there's some missing information that affects, excuse me, the parse out. So the distribution of goods. So I think they're going to push it into next year, into the first quarter of next year. So I know that that stinks, but what can you do to hasten this? So even if your heart says, cut your losses, just just kind of be done with it. I think calling them up and saying, "What can I do to," sometimes it's the way you ask the question. What can I do to move this process along? Is there anything you need from me so that we can get this wrapped up by the close of the month, by the beginning of January? Like give them time frames on that, and then hold them to the time frame. I very much would like to be able to put this behind me by January 15th, whatever the date is that you have in mind. Um, I would really hold them to that. And, there's always the threat of, I feel like you're not doing your job, said the girl who used to be a malpractice insurance broker. You're not doing your job. I'm feeling that you're not doing what you're supposed to do, and maybe this is malpractice. If you drop the malpractice word, people usually start moving a lot faster. So, I think if you are gently proactive about it, Texas Kit Kat. I think if you tell them that uh, they need to I think you should determine the end date. I want this wrapped up by such and such a day. Um, and I want you to do everything you can to get us whole by such and such a day. And is there anything that you need from me to do so? I think that they will move a little bit faster. Remember, the malpractice word is a magic word. Texas Kit Kat. I'm sorry that you're going through that. So guys, I think he just has a cold, but we're gonna get him tested. Margie, yes, I did. I did get the job, and I started last weekend, hence why I'm doing Mixtape Monday live, because I was literally unable to get out of my chair yesterday. I was exhausted. And I was a little slow to start today. So yes, 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 yes. All right, let me see. I had some more questions. Uh, is Andrew Loney MI5? Is he MI5? Oh, didn't expect that. That's a wild reading right there. Andrew Loney, is he MI5? This one says yes. This says that he hated it being on the inside and that he's going to reveal lots of things about them to tickle his own fancy. How about that? We got another question from Haley. Is Meghan Markle ill? I'm going to slice this up. Is Meghan Markle physically ill? Is she physically ill? She is not taking care of herself, but I do think that she's very aware of it. I think she is more aware of her, I think she's aware that she's not as robust as she was, like, say, when Harry and Meghan, when they first got married. I think she was in a much better shape, but, it was almost 10 years ago, so, there's 10 years there, and I do think she's old. I think she's closer to my age, guys. I don't think she's still in her 40s. I think she is way closer to my age. I'm thinking, like, 48. I think she's, like, 48. Not 50. Some people think that she's 50, but I think she's like 48 or so. um I don't know. I don't know. So is she mentally stressed out? There we go. Mentally stressed out. The parenting thing, she's not able to balance this. I know. I'm not getting into that debate right now. But the parenting thing, I think, is really challenging for her. I don't think she has a lot of patience. I think she really Meghan Markle is someone who needs a nanny. She needs a nanny because she cannot sustain the work for that length of time. And I do think that Harry is kind of a playmate to the kids versus a parent. There's a very, very different aspect to it. And I, I, I don't think that he's meeting out any discipline because I don't think that he was disciplined when he was a kid. I think he was kind of left to his own devices to just go and have some fun, be a goofball. So yeah. Yeah. Uh, is she ill? I think she's stressed out, but I think she creates a lot of her own stress. Let's put it that way. We're going to leave Meghan Markle there. Leave her right there. So, Elaine, um, are rods the right thing to do? Guys, I'm not looking at the chat for the moment. Just give me a second. I see there's questions being dropped. Oh, snow squalls. I love a snow squall. So, Elaine, are the rods the right way to go? So, tower in reverse is something that is life changing, and that when it's in reverse, it's something that we've done to ourselves. So, let's see, good or bad. That's surgery. We have a sword. The world, we still don't have a result now. This says that something ends. What is it? Justice in reverse. I don't know. I don't like the Seven of Swords. Um, I think explore some other options. See if there is something they can do that is different. Or if there's something that you can do to postpone a little bit longer. Uh, look at all the options. Second opinion as well. I would get second opinion because they may be just trying to put the structure in there to have some. I'm sorry, Christine. I don't. It's a long day. I'm still tired. So I don't know if there's something else they can do, or if they're trying to fast track recovery for you, and this would be like the fastest way to give you some kind of relief and recovery. I would do second opinion. The tower card up here, this is life changing. And the world, something ends. So is that a certain level of mobility? Want you to make sure you're doing the right thing there. So I hope that helps. Hope that helps. So poor Elaine. Poor Elaine. All right. Oh, I'm sorry, Christine. I yawned again. I yawned again. All right. Did I not answer anything? Will you get a refill of your medication in time? Give them a call. Call, email, whatever you got to do. And tell them on delay. On delay. On delay. So, Bora. What is Bora? Yikes. I'm just seeing if we have any questions. I'm not minding my 50s either. I don't have a problem with 50s. She doesn't look good and she lost all that weight, you know. Mikey P over on Insta. How you doing, dude? I see you, Mikey P. Sneaking around. I'm just wrapping it up, Mikey P. So I'm just looking, seeing if we missed any questions. Oh, there's one. OSV. Is Harry or Meghan getting information to Andrew Lowney? Let's see. Is Harry doing it? He has a lot of negative things to say about the royal family. Shocker, right? What about Meghan? No, I don't think Meghan's talking to him. I don't think Meghan's talking to him. Rob Lewandowski. Don't forget Rob Lewandowski about LB, laundry blindness, because my family suffers from laundry blindness. I actually have laundry blindness going on upstairs on the table right now. My son has a basket of laundry that he has not folded. So I did I'll put it up on YouTube one of these days, guys, so you can have a laugh. I did a PSA a couple of years ago talking about laundry blindness, and I had like my whole dining room table was filled with beautifully folded laundry that none of my family was taking up to their rooms. So I did a PSA about laundry blindness. And my poor friend Rob thought I was really talking about some horrible affliction. It was very funny. Kathy, go have some dinner. I gotta formulate some dinner, and I gotta get Angus over to the Medi Merge too. Mikey P, life is good. It is cold here in New Jersey. You made a good decision getting out of here. It's cold. It's damn cold. We got weather coming tomorrow. So I don't know what kind of weather, but we got weather coming. So things are crazy. But so all right, guys. Was that it? Is that it? I think that's it. Gorgeous moons out. I will be on Hypsee in just a bit. I've got to book an appointment for Angus, but I am going to open up for Hypsee as soon as I shut down this live. And then I got to get Angus over to, I'll probably be on there for like an hour. So if any of you would like to book your own magical reading with me, whoops, cancel. Trying to get my link here. If you want to come over and get a private reading, I'll be live just for about an hour over on Hypsee. For you guys over on Insta too, I will be live over on Hypsee for about an hour. And that is where you can get your own magical reading with me, video, chat, or voice call. So you can also book scheduled readings over there, or you can go through my regular Calendly link. That is in the description of the video too. So, and final word for you guys, I'm going to drop my card view so you don't have to look at that. So final word, my ambassadorship with Otter Spirit continues. We are going to have some sales that are coming up between Texas Kit Kat. Just follow the link that I just dropped. So Otter Spirit will be having some sales that are coming up between now and Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, any other holidays that are happening there. They're going to have more links for that, but for right now, my 20% off any purchase is still available with Fortune 20. You can use my own personal link. Let me give you my own personal link. There we go. My own personal link through Otter Spirit. You guys can go buy yourself some intentional jewelry over there. Lots of good gift buying options over there. You can purchase these genuine crystals and gemstones. They have shopping via gemstone, intention, also by your birth sign. All of you in the chat, I know some of you are in the chat, did buy jewelry from them. They have necklaces, they have earrings as well, and very, very happy. I am very happy with them. I am actually stacking my moonstone mini and my moonstone regular size with this amazing bracelet that my daughter gave me. It's called a long distance bracelet, and she has the colored bracelet with one black bead, and this is our touchstone for both of us. So it was so cute. I was like, it's like long distance bracelet. One's for you, one's for me. And I was like, oh my God. So I cried a lot when my baby girl went back to school. So I was very emotional. Yes, I miss her very much. She's going to be home soon. Her semester ends in just about 2 weeks. So she will be done and she will be home for like a month. I'm very excited. So make sure you go on over, do some shopping at Otter Spirit if you have some gifts that you have to purchase for the holiday. Any strange spiritual people like me, you can go over there and get them a really cool gift. There's some really cool stuff there, and they do have some interesting sales that go on. They always have a gemstone or two of the month, and they have these amazing 6 bracelet sets for the whole month. So they also have features with the different content creators. Hopefully one day I will be doing that, putting together a little curated set for everybody. Anna Milla did show up. And when we talk shopping, Anna Milla shows up. But I'm going to be live on Hypsee for a little bit, and then I am going to get this baby boy over to the doctor. So hope to see some of you guys over there. As always, thank you so much for hanging out for the live. This was kind of a long one. It was 2 hours. I didn't realize it was going to be on that long. This was a long one, but I'm going to try and do some more lives for you this week and lots more content. Remember the Kevin Federline book, I'm going to be doing that. And I also, just for fun, I got the new James Patterson book. I had a credit on my Kindle, and he's written a fiction book about Marilyn Monroe, and it's about the murder of Marilyn Monroe. So I am going to be hopping into bed when I'm done with everything and reading that. I started it last night, and it starts off with she is already dead, and the actions of everyone around her. So going to be pretty cool. And I think some people have just arrived in the book that are concerned about the scene. So did you read it? Wifey, it just came out last night at midnight. You already finished it? Holy crow, fast reader. So I am super excited about that. So I may do like a Tarot Tells the Truth with that too. I think that maybe we'll stick with the actual nonfiction books for that, but we'll see. I'm going to finish the Kevin Federline one though for you guys. Wifey, good for you. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. I am going to see you later. Remember, this was Mixtape Monday, so we're going to leave with the Mixtape Monday outro. I'll see you in the future.